Hello everyone and welcome to Arts, Crafts, and everything in between, and anything related to this podcast or to the Little Crafter Show can be found on my website at eileenlittlecrafter.com. So let's jump right in it today, guys. It is my 2015 must-watch fall anime. Woohoo! I am super excited, and honestly, guys, I can't even number them. They are on the mark with these this year. There have been some much anticipated shows. I have to say that I'm glad they're back this time around, but really, honestly, it's hard. It really is hard to pick a number one. If I had to, I wouldn't be able to. So, I'm gonna start off with this show because it's pretty interesting in terms of how they brought it back. It was I believe, a summer anime, or winter, can't remember which, but it's called the Blockade Battlefront. Now, this is a show that I told you about, that the young man has these god eyes because the demon said, "What part of the body do you want me to take?" And he was going to take, it was a brother and sister that was standing in front of the demon, and he was going to take the brother's eyes, but instead, basically choose whose eyes, and the sister was like, "Take mine," and the sister was already in a wheelchair. They were coming to New York to get a cure for her. Apparently New York turned into some type of Hell's Gate type of deal, and there was this big gate opening, and basically demons and creatures from other dimensions came about, bad and good, and there's this organization that tries to keep it all under one crazy, under control, chaotic type of deal. Because, New York is New York. Even in anime. It is what it is. So, what else I wanted to say? So, in doing so, they have to fight really bad people and bad demons, or whatever the case may be. In this particular storyline, it follows along Leo, a couple of cases, and one particular thing where they have to I can't remember the name of the gate. Oh, well, there was basically a bunch of mages that put a gate around New York in order for it to survive structurally and keep everything copacetic. And they left it started from episode 1 to 12. They left it at 12, and it didn't come back for the summer, so I was kind of disappointed. And then it came back with episode 13 for the fall. And it pretty much ended the story, but it kind of picked off with a hint of maybe a season 2. So I don't know necessarily if they're going to have a season 2 during the fall season or winter. So we shall see. And episodes 1 to 13 can be found on Hulu, and 1 through 12, Funimation 1 through 13 and 1 to 12 can be found on Hulu. So I definitely like this anime. I think it's well thought out. It has a lot of funny twists and turns. I'm not really a haha type of girl, but every once in a while it just gives me a chuckle here and there. I love the concept of the anime and the 70s vibe. It was interesting. Alrighty, moving right along. Sephiroth of the End, Vampire Reign. It's on Funimation and Hulu. It's back for season 2. Yay! I have to say, this was my most anticipated anime. Basically, for this anime, something went wrong, and the vampires are now taking over the world. There was some type of disaster, and now the vampires are taking over, and adults basically have died off. Children under a certain age were still alive, and well, not died off. Some, not all of them. There were some adults that were dying off or turning into vampires, and the vampires come in and take over the kids, and they basically use them as cattle or livestock, as they call them. And there are a bunch of people that are fighting within the human race in order to, bring about the human race, bring them back, and try and live normal lives. But the vampires and the humans aren't seeing eye to eye. And it turns out that it's looking like in season 2 that the reason why the Earth is the way it is might be due to the humans experimenting on children. So it's kind of leading up to that. So definitely would check out for that one. Again, that's Sephiroth of the End, Vampire Reign. It could be found on Funimation and Hulu. Noragami Arigato. I hope I pronounced that right. I'll spell it out. It's Noragmi. One word. Next word is Aragto. Basically, he is a lower level god who doesn't have a shrine, and he's working in order to get one. And before that, he was the god of chaos. And during feudal times in Japan, he basically was up there. And then he became somebody who decided that he didn't want to kill anymore. He wanted to be known for other things, and that it follows along his journey. And it's back for season 2. Honestly, I didn't think that this was going to come back. I thought it was just the way they ended it. It was just, that was it. I'm actually glad it's back because it was really good. Didn't like the way it ended, but like I said, okay, sorry there. So that's basically it. This next one, I hope I pronounced it right or properly. The Askra War. Asterisk can be found on Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Hulu. Pretty impressive. I've never seen all three in 3 networks on one show on 3 networks. That's the ticket, and yes, I am drinking my coffee. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a tickle. Basically, it is come to a world where a lot of war and famine and stuff like that is going on, and basically students learn how to fight in order to bring prestige upon the 6 schools in and 6 different countries. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. Boy and girl don't like each other. They kind of have to work together, and so that's pretty interesting. The boy is not very good. It's kind of a common story, but I like this story that it is. It is what it is, and it's really good. Next one is kind of funny and kind of reminds me of one of the online games, or one of the games that they play in Japan, where basically it's kind of like a dating game, or there's one girl with like 6 or 7 guys or 5 guys that are trying to win her heart, and in each scenario you have to pick a guy in order to go through the story. And so this one, it kind of reminds me of that, and it's called Dance with the Devils. It's on Funimation and Hulu. The maiden, I think there's like 5 characters or 6 characters. I don't remember the number. I should have wrote it down. The maiden basically is from it looks like a witch family. She doesn't know that she's a witch, and people are trying to get something called the Forbidden Grimoire. Grimoire meaning a book of magical spells. This one is forbidden, and C somehow is the key. So they're moving right along through that story. And it's so funny because in this particular one, I didn't know that it was going to be singing. So I'm sitting there watching yesterday's episode, and I'm like, is he singing? And it was interesting. I've never seen an anime like that. So, yeah. So, he's fighting the bad guys while he's singing. So, yeah. That was pretty funny. Moving right along. I'm so sorry. Moving right along, we have the Anti-Magic Academy. The main person is basically a low-level student in this academy, and he has to be teamed up with someone who is higher ranking than him, but is demoted because of her actions during investigations. Basically, witches need to be hunted because they are practicing black magic. Now, I know you're like, well, why are you watching this anime? Because, you know, it's just an anime at 1. And 2, I know that there are Wiccans or witches out there that do not practice black magic. And I'm, you know, having the quotations in my fingers. And yes, I know witches are an easy target, so I can't let it always get under my skin. You know, I know that there are a lot of people who think that, you know, witches or witchcraft or whatever is all evil and that it should be messed with. The same with every religion. It should be respected and it should be looked into, and, you know, just don't jump in and do certain things. You read about it, you know, talk to people, you know, you get as much information as you possibly can. And you make your decision from there. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to get off my high horse and, or soapbox, as I once heard it. So, yeah, so they have to try and work together, through various reasons. And it's a very interesting story. And I enjoy it. So, moving right along. Oops, it moved. This one is kind of funny and creepy and a very good story at the same time. It's called Beautiful Bones. It's on Crunchyroll. I'm not too sure if it's on Hulu. I didn't look that one up. Oops, sorry guys. But it's just, again, it's called Beautiful Bones. Basically, you have 2 main characters. And right now they're going through the process of how they met and how they solve cases. The beautiful, basically what he calls her, the Princess of Bones, she loves to excavate, I don't know, dig up bones, basically. Yeah, my farts. Anyways, I can't, so, moving right along, what I wanted to say was that basically she likes bones. She prefers, analyzing cases and, you know, all that other stuff better than dealing with people. And, so, yeah, that was my favorite farts. Sorry about that. I thought they were sleeping. So anyways, and she has a very good mind in understanding how human behaviors and why certain things are the way they are. And it's a really good story. It's kind of creepy and morbid because, you know, you're dealing with death and bones. Like, but it's good. It's very intelligently done. If that's even a word. Okay, next one is called Lucifer's Comet. And that's on Crunchyroll. Basically, it's about a young man who, I don't remember if it was Earth or another planet. Sorry about that. And he basically likes to go around and into these caverns and look for different types of rocks. in his study, in his quest to find a new rock, he comes across another one, kind of a rare one, and something happens to him. And later on, he is, I wouldn't say attacked. I think he was chased by a friend's brother because she wanted to run away with him. And they kind of had like a little chase scene. And during this chase, they fall into this cavern and all this craziness happen. And in the midst of this, they find a young girl. Now, basically, the girl she can speak a little bit of language, but she basically is like a child. And it turns out that she has magical powers and she's very valuable. And, of course, another government is looking for her, but they don't know where she is. So the story continues on that one. And I think that was just basically the first one. So it's only on, like, episode 1. So more should be available. And, again, that's called Comet Lucifer, which is on Crunchyroll. This one is still going on. And it started off as a summer anime, but it was towards, like, more the end of the summer, like sometime in August. Never really seen that happen before. And it's called God Eater, and it's on, believe it or not, it only was on Hulu, and then now it's on Crunchyroll. Hulu has episodes 1 through 8. Crunchyroll has 1 through 7. So in case you're interested in that one, once again, the Earth is dying and scientists are looking for a way to find new fuel. They find fuel and energy, but it turns out the substance that they find is too dangerous, and it basically morphs into these creatures that want to kill people, and they're really dangerous. They're very aggressive. They don't like humans, and they see us as food. So a way of people engineered sort of to be able to kill these creatures in order for them to be harvested so that they can be safe. And so it's continually going. Honestly, I have to say that this one is a little slow in coming, of new episodes, but it is good. It is a good watch, and I'm hoping that it continues, on, and we don't have to wait until winter or summer or even spring for that matter. Okay, this one is kind of an interesting one. The Perfect Insider, which is on Crunchyroll. Now, I did look this up on Hulu, and there is one called The Perfect Insider, but it is a live action movie, and I think I don't know if it's Japanese or Korean. I didn't catch basically it's a foreign film, and it sounds very interesting, and I may even watch it at that point after reading it. But the anime is basically about a professor and his daughter's mentor. They are interested in another professor who is extremely weird. I don't even know how to explain about her to you guys. That's the word. Okay, it's just so weird. Who kills their parents and then so-called blames it on a doll? So that's one mystery that they are wanting to solve about her, and in the process, they find while on vacation, they find a dead body, and they have to figure out the mystery. So that's what the kind of like what the bio says. But upon watching it, the female scientist always asks the question, why is she here? All these weird questions, but very thoughtful. And she won't grant interviews, and she's always seen wearing a white dress with white gloves. She grants interviews through a TV screen, and it only has a limited amount of time. So it's very weird, and I'm very interested in to see how the story progresses. This one has a Japanese name, but it also, they give you, thank you Crunchyroll for that one. Again, The Perfect Insider is on Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll has this new one called The Two Faces. Basically, it takes place in another land, fairy tale. Kind of, they're not modern civilization. It kind of reminds me of feudal Japan, China mixed in with it. The drawing, just, it's very pretty. It's a really good anime, and the main character has no idea basically who he is or how he came to where he is. He just found himself in the middle of nowhere in a very snowy, cold mountain, dressed but no shoes, nothing warm, nothing to keep him warm, and he starts running for his life because something was chasing him. Somebody finds him and brings him, and the story progresses from there. It really is a good story, and it kind of reminds me of another anime which slips my mind at this point, but we shall see if it's the same one or a remake. So, in anywho, guys, that is that one. Two Faces on Crunchyroll. This one I almost forgot to put on the list. Not because it's bad or anything, but I had so many anime that I thought I'd put it on. Chivalry of a Failed Knight, which is on Hulu. Okay, boy and girl once again don't get along, and somehow they have to be roommates with one another. Kind of funny. And they have to fight it out to see who basically is the supreme ruler of their dorm, their apartment, or whatever the case may be, because they are in a school and they learn how to fight, once again. So it's funny. And later on they also have to try and maybe see if they may compete as a team for a tournament because the school is failing. So that was that one. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, so that is it, guys, for my list. I hope that you liked this list. Again, definitely couldn't give you a list of 1, 2, 3s. Each one has their unique style. I kind of feel that I have to agree. I have to say, Chivalry of a Failed Knight kind of reminds me of the Astric War. Kind of has the same one. The girls are different and differently drawn. The guys are kind of similar in a sense. The story kind of flows the same way, but in a different aspect of that boy and girl have to work together. But in the Asterix one, which I forgot to mention, was that the reason why this particular young man, is in this particular school is because he wants to follow in the footsteps of his sister, who just disappeared somehow, and there is no evidence that she even existed in that school. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And the next one, the next one I really wanted to talk to you about was Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Basically, he was considered a failure of the family, and they didn't even want him in the school, I guess, because it was a disgrace. But he is finding his own way and his own path, and he is continuously moving forward in the right way. So I think it sends a really good message, even though it is kind of not violent, you know, the fighting. Everybody could say, oh, well, it's violent because of the fighting, but it is what it is. So yeah, so that's my must-watch 2015 anime, my list. I have some good news, which I found what the problem was with I misplaced my plug, like I told you. Was looking for a replacement, and now I find it, so I'm good, and I'm going to be definitely writing up the list of stuff for the summer anime, for everything else, anything else on my blog, which is eileenthelittlecrafter.com. So I will definitely be updating that as soon as possible. Next week's podcast will be about my Mama Elephant's event, the 3rd year anniversary. It was held here in New York. I'm so excited. Met the owners, really funny, amazing ladies that I will hopefully get in touch with and convinced to have an interview with. So I'm very excited about that. But right now, what I really want is if any of those ladies who are listening to this, if you guys are listening to this podcast, please, send me a link to your blog and your name or a username or something like that, so that I can give you a shout out and put you on my blog, so that maybe other people can look at your stuff. Any pictures and stuff like that you may have of the event. That would be awesome. You don't have to send it to me, but I know there was a lot of coloring. Some people had a lot of different things, a lot of different mediums that I saw that I was really impressed by, and I had a very wonderful time, and I met a lot of nice ladies. But I didn't get any email. I should have gotten emails, but all I got was Instagram. So yeah. Alrighty. So if you guys want to leave me that, you guys can head over to my blog, which is Eileen the Little Crafter. On the left hand side, there's a place to contact me. You can send me an email, leave me a little headline saying the Mama Elephant, here's my link, or I met you at Mama Elephant, and I would definitely put you on and give you a nice little shout out. Anything else? Why do I feel like I'm missing anything? I hope not. If not, you know me, I will always come back and regroup or leave more additional information on my blog post. That's the word. I don't know why I keep saying that. That's the word. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. And sorry this one was a long one. Had a lot of stuff that I had to get off my chest, apparently. And a lot of pausing to do. So I hope that you guys had an awesome week and enjoyed this podcast. Alrighty, bye for now, and see you next week.